Good morning, everybody, and welcome here to Riverside International Raceway as we're going to determine the six drivers that will make it into this afternoon's race here at the Riverside Road Course for the Oreo Cup Series. We just had our first car rolling out. That would be Jessica Shelton in the number 94, the Big Mac Knight McDonald's Ford Mustang Dark Horse for Bill Elliott Racing. 20 minutes on the clock as Shelton currently on her warm-up lap. Last time we were at California was at Sonoma. That was back earlier this year. And we're going to have the fuel on ×2, which means we're going to have a fuel mileage to see who is going to make it and who is not. Fuel is going to be on ×2. Down the straightaway for Jessica Shelton. Running the regular PWF version of a Riverside. We're not running like the Riverside that somebody has already made that will take up a shitload of space. We're on the Wildfire Riverside. As Jessica Shelton starting her first official timed lap. As she just got 4 tires into the sand there. That's really going to be a factor when we see this race later today at 3 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. I think this turn right here is going to be a trouble spot here, as Shelton just got the wall a little bit. Glad we're going to do some races on the old road course here at Riverside, as we're coming down the longest straightaway on the track. Last week we just came off our inaugural race from Albuquerque, New Mexico. This week we're back here on the west coast of Riverside. After today's race, we'll have 10 more races left to go. And the next 10 races will comprise of Dover, Talladega, Martinsville, as Shelton puts a 1:16.256. Dover, Talladega, Martinsville, as I mentioned, the Texas Hillside Papyrus Boston Speedway, Arizona Speedway, Chicagoland, and our regular season finale at April before we find out the 16 drivers that will battle out in this season's Oreo Cup Series chase for the championship. Got some dust being kicked up. There's Olympia Brightly, former Buffalo Wild Wings Series driver for DVR in ironically the same number, the 68. Driving for Brandon Built Motorsports in this series. Carmen Alejandro, Lita Perez made her return to the Oreo Cup Series and ironically the same ride. Of course, Perez won a race last season but was not high enough in points to have her win count for a spot into the playoffs. As Carmen Alejandro, 8th quickest on her lap. Tatum Wright in the dirt was in the final transfer spot, but not anymore. And went to the 39. There's Ari Springer in the 49 this week. Isaac Willis in the 22nd position. Yuki Yamamoto failed to qualify last week at Albuquerque, driving the 0 out of the Haas factory team, which will be a charter team, and he'll switch to Fords next season. Reagan Whitlock running in the 35th position for Neuenberger Motorsports. There's Desiree Voiles in the 61 machine. Yoshi Yamamoto. First time we've seen Yoshi Yamamoto since her suspension was lifted. And don't worry about the blue signs in the pit boxes. I will get those replaced soon. Gene Evans not having a good qualifying. There's Scarlett Wallace. Ashton Wright made her debut last week at Albuquerque. There's Sam Tenley. Don't want to be going too wide. 98 just got up in the guardrail. There's Crystal Fontaine, currently fourth quickest. Crystal Fontaine trying to do something that's not been done in quite some time, make 3 consecutive starts. I think the longest streak was Eric Monaco, who made the first 5 races until he failed to qualify. That was the longest streak by a single driver this season. There's Daniel Voiles, trying to make his 3rd start in a row. Crystal Fontaine didn't improve her time. There's Morgan Henderson, had to make an adjustment. There's Cody Goforth, Annie Thomas, Donovan Carter, the sister to Brooklyn Carter, Geisha Racing, Kevin Joseph back for Red Dragon Racing in the 35. There's Whitlock. We're going to take a lap around with a driver. Chloe Erickson back in that ride this week. There's Remy Crampton. Liliana Beta, Trinity Lee this week in the 75. Eric Monaco's 2nd quickest. He failed to qualify the last couple of races. See if we're going to go on board Donovan Carter via the cockpit and show you a lap around this daunting road course here at Riverside. Turn 1 right here. Coming through the S's. This track used to hold the Winston Cup Series before they went to Sonoma. And we don't know how the Gen 7 cars will run here this weekend, so that's something we're definitely really curious to see how they will do. This corner right here is going to be the trouble spot, because you're going to see a lot of times drivers try to stick it in there too wide, and it's not going to work. Into this right-hander here. And then into the left. Then down the straightaway here. And this one you can relax your hands. Look how fast he's going. 170. Into the kink here. 181. And that is the fastest part of the racetrack before this final corner. And thank you to Donovan Carter for the lap providing here at Riverside. Katie Waters, by the way, in the 55 this week. There's Donovan Dixon, Cheyenne Berkshire, the teammate to the 35 for Red Dragon Racing. We're going to say Eric Monaco's 2nd quickest at a 14.516. This is the biggest field for a go or go homer session. Oh, did I hear skid marks? Yep, somebody got squirrely, and whoever spun Was it the 26 of Kelsey Higdon? Yep, it was. See, Chloe Erickson runs wide. Kelsey Higdon's going to make contact. Throwing Chloe Erickson in the wall. There's Carolina Bradley, by the way. And that's 62. Abigail Stone, former Truck Series driver, drove the number 23 for GMS Racing in the Coca-Cola Truck Series. That series is now retired. She just made contact with Carolina Bradley. Abigail Stone there. There's Sam Davis, currently third quickest. Right now we have Olympia Brightly, Eric Monaco, Sam Davis, Sam Tenley, Cheyenne Berkshire, and Ari Springer as things stand. Even though we're already past the halfway mark in the session, they are currently the drivers that would make this week's race here at Riverside. As you see down to 7 minutes to go in the session. Like I said, this was going to be the Chevy Silverado 250, but the uh, we have 3 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Right now, the 68 is the fastest car on the track. That would be Olympia Brightly right there. There's some cars that are still making some pit stops. There's Trendy Lee in the 75 coming back out on the track. Probably I wouldn't be going side by side going through the S's because that could be a big problem we're going to see in the race later today. Ashton Wright, currently second quickest. There she is. Scarlett Wallace now on the final transfer spot, or is it? Yep, Scarlett Wallace, I was right. Eric Monaco down the third quickest with less than 2 minutes to go in this qualifying session. Annie Thomas up in the wall there. Sam Tenley now in the final transfer spot because Remy Crampton did a 14.36. It looks like Remy Crampton, the way things are looking, it looks like Remy Crampton will make this week's race, barring anything happening between now and these next 10 seconds of this qualifying session. And time is up. So 60 on track. Yep. 15.945. Eric Monaco going back out, but it's too little too late. Some of these cars are done. Ari Springer did not improve. Can Sam Davis get away from the danger zone? Does not improve. Don't think anybody can improve their time. And there's your fastest lady in this session. So Olympia Brightly, Remy Crampton, Ashton Wright, Eric Monaco, Sam Davis, and Sam Tenley will have the final transfer spots. Look at that. 2/1000s separating Sam Tenley, who's racing this afternoon, and Scarlett Wallace, who unfortunately for her will be going home. What a shocker there. The drivers who are joining Scarlett Wallace and not making this week's race here at Riverside includes Cheyenne Berkshire, Ari Springer, Morgan Henderson, Trinity Lee, Katie Waters, Daniel Voiles. He doesn't make the show. Crystal Fontaine, Tatum Wright, Gager Racing, Donovan Dixon, Kelsey Higdon, Donovan Carter, Eliana Woodson, Abigail Stone, Isaac Willis, Jessica Shelton, Morgan Le Fay, Scarlett Wallace, Jillian Black, Kaylee Rankin, Yuki Yamamoto, Carmen Alejandro, Yoshi Yamamoto, Chloe Erickson, Leo Hill, Alita Perez, Reagan Whitlock, Gene Evans, Cody Goforth, Yanni Thomas, Kevin Joseph, Desiree Hoyles, Carolina Bradley, and Liliana Beta. Those drivers, unfortunately, will have to try again next week as we head to the Monster Mile of Dover. But that's going to do it for Go or Go Home qualifying. If you enjoyed this session, be sure to give this video a like, subscribe to become part of the PCSRA and WRA crew today. We'll see you back here at 3 o'clock Eastern Standard Time for our inaugural race at Riverside as our race weekend continues here on the PCSRA and WRA Sports and Gaming Channel, the best out of racing since 2017.